Afrika Mayibuye movement leader Floyd Shivambu says the party will seek to win an outright majority in next year's local government elections. The party recently concluded its first national convention this weekend, with delegates adopting the founding documents, policies and commission reports. Shivambu says the party is positioning itself as a new liberation movement and will seek to win an outright majority in next year's local government elections. Floyd Shivambu joins us now in studio on Face the Nation. Mr. Shivambu, thank you so much for making time. Good evening.
No, good evening, and good evening to viewers of SABC, and thank you to SABC for stopping that meaningless speech by Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa to come to speak to the leadership of Mayibuye.
Let's start with this important gathering that you have, the first national convention. How did it go, and how important was it in getting the movement to get ready for next year's elections?
No, look, we convened the national convention from the 5th to the 7th of December. So that was after the massive consultation process which began on the 19th of June this year to listen to the people of South Africa. And after the consultations, we had drafted the documents and listened to the mandate of the people to register a political party which exists as a movement and as part of the movement, the Afrika Mayibuye movement. And then we got to convene leadership structures from all the 205 sub-regions or municipalities of South Africa and from all the 53 districts of South Africa to then frame a common framework and policy posture of Afrika Mayibuye movement. So we had a very productive engagement where we got to affirm the Restoration Manifesto, which is our founding document, but also to adopt a constitution which is going to be the guiding document organizationally of the political party, but also to take a policy posture in terms of what are the issues that we should prioritize. And we had a very successful engagement. It was one of the most fulfilling and wide covering national conferences attended and anchored by traditional leaders and religious leaders and various other sectors, by the youth, by women's structure, by students, and everyone who got to participate. So we now have a fully fledged organization that exists in all corners of South Africa. And then, of course, we're going to ground it in all the voting districts. There's 23,219 VDs in South Africa. So we're going to launch VD-based branches in all the VDs. And then we'll get to work. And our branches are not just electoral instruments. Our branches become instruments for social transformation, for social assistance in our communities, for responding to some of the immediate challenges which our people are confronted with on a daily basis. That is why we do not narrowly align our composition of branches to the electoral demarcations that is done by the demarcation board. And that is why even in institutions, in workplaces, we will permit for the existence of branches of Afrika Mayibuye movement so that it becomes a true national liberation movement, because South Africa doesn't have a liberation movement. It used to exist, it mutated into something else that is an antithesis to liberation, because the former liberation movement that is in office now has failed to deliver in all its promises. Even the Freedom Charter, which we're talking about today, they failed to deliver in all of them. Because that Freedom Charter says that the mineral wealth beneath the soil, the banks and monopoly industries shall be transferred to the ownership of the people as a whole. And there is no such. It says the doors of learning and culture shall be opened for all. There is no such, because access to education is still prohibited by very high fees and unfavorable learning and teaching environments. That Freedom Charter says that there shall be security, comfort and houses for all. But you've got more than 15 million South Africans who still stay in peri-urban, unrecognized, the so-called informal settlements. So if you were to go in many parts of the periphery of all the cities, you still find the mushrooming of informal settlements. And even the manner in which government tried to intervene through the RDP houses, it's as if they are refugee camps which do not have a value. Even the valuations that are being placed on them it's not a reflection of reality, because this liberation movement is filled. Therefore, there's a liberation movement, Afrika Mayibuye movement, which will bring about true freedom.
You spoke about workplaces as well. What shape is that going to form? Like, would it be members of Afrika Mayibuye who are part of some kind of structures in the workplace?
So, like the